Well, I think he's taking the right again.
That brings people together. And Okta FX. Go to OktaFX.com/Marshall.
Let me share that again. I think you had a challenge at the start.
Oh, Annie, can you just
hello? I think okay. Sorry, let me mute.
Mute Dio, please. Hi. Are we ready now? For sure. Maybe noisy at the back. Abdullah Lukman, please mute him. Ibrahim Mohammed, please mute him. Just mute everybody, except Mr. Tugbe, please.
Fine. My family discussion transfer because bank.
Tanimo, is it the one speaking? Can you please hold it there?
Okay, sorry, please. Sorry.
Bilima Mohammed too. Okay.
So, Sadiq Tuge, I think you can start afresh. Bosayo, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Whoever is TechnoSpark 7P.
Please identify yourself.
Just knock them off or mute them. We don't have this kind of time. Mr. Tuge, are you still with us?
Okay, Sir Kabir, you're now the host, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Marshall Bakut, please. Marshall Bakut.
No, it doesn't work like that. Just mute. You have the mute button. That's the problem. Mr. Ani, can you please help him to mute, please?
I've given Sir Kabir the rights.
Okay, so you can't do it.
I've done that.
Okay.
No, just mute everybody.
Okay.
Indiscriminately, just mute everybody. And then only unmute the person you want. From time to time, just mute everybody.
Okay.
People are a bit careless, I think. Mr. Tuge?
Has he gone to?
Well, okay. Who's next? Nonye, please. You have 5 minutes. Nonye here? Gabriel, can you help to unmute her, please?
Nonye, where is she?
She's not here. Okay. So we'll go to the next person.
Christopher.
Christopher Joman, you have 5 minutes if you're here. Okay. Mr.
Christopher is not here.
Usman Suleiman, are you here?
It's not here too.
Not here too. Okay. Fair enough. Ruth, are you here? I think that initial break caused some challenges. Ruth, are you here? Okay. Sadiq Tanimu, are you here?
I see to get okay. Anyway, we've
Okay,
passed him.
Tuge, you are back with us.
Yes, I'm back.
5 minutes starting now, please. Go ahead.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sadiq Gambochuge from the class of 2004, Limpopo House. I'm contesting for the office of ex-official 2. My aim, when elected and given this great opportunity, is to bridge the gap between the members of the alumni and the schools, and also to bring about more unity that we already have among the members of this great alumni. Also, we have been seeing out the activities of the various officers that we have. That's some of my manifesto.
So you finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. That was less than a minute. I'm impressed. So let's go back to our list. I don't see Nanye having come in or registered yet. Mr. Christopher Joman, I don't see him either. Usman Suleiman, okay, he's having challenges. He's still trying to log in. Okay, so we'll move to the next person. Ruth, are you with us now? Is Ruth with us? Mr. Tuge, could you mute while you're at it? And could you mute Aderonke, please? Mr. Sirikul?
Okay.
Just be doing it as you see them come up.
As they come up, yeah.
Okay, can we move on to Mr. Sadiq Tanimu? He needs to be unmuted. Yes, okay. Go ahead,
Sadiq,
please.
Tanimu? We can't hear him. He's not on mute. Sadiq Tanimu.
Hear me now? Am I clear now? Sorry.
Go ahead, please. You have 5 minutes.
Okay. Good day. My name is Sadiq Tanimu Umar, class of 2001, Limpopo House. I am vying for the position of the assistant PRO, rather PRO2, the forthcoming FGCKADOSA National School elections come 29th of this month, 2022. As the PRO2, I will closely work with my PRO and the secretariat, that's the Secretary General, and also his assistant, in seeing that we bridge the gap of communication in association entirely. Because if you look, there's a gap whereby a lot of sets do not, are not aware, do not have the knowledge of exactly what's going, don't even have the orientation of the importance of this great association. So as I said, closely I'll work with my PRO and Secretary General to see that we bridge that gap in passing information, receiving information across, and also we evaluate the informations that go out and come in, and they should be timely. So basically, also to keep the image and the reputation of the association that's outside, as it relates to other similar association, and even the mother as USOSA and any other association. So we intend to bridge that gap. We develop a structure to pass accurate information, accurate data across to members. So hopefully when we're elected, we're going to ensure that. So I think I'm okay, I'm done.
Okay, thank you very, very much. And thank you for your brevity. Mr. Ajala, I think I saw your name earlier. If you are available. Can I just ask Mr. Ajala and all the other candidates, as you are speaking, please put on your videos. I'm sure the audience would like to see who you are. And please, can we mute Rita and others, Mary, who are not speaking? Please go ahead. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, good evening, all. Please, I kindly crave your indulgence. The hotel I'm lodging in now, the power just went off. So I may not be able to use the video at the moment. Yes, the generator is not yet on. I'm in Abuja already. So please, I crave your indulgence. So this is my manifesto presentation. I'm Michael Adekunle Ajala, class of 1994, Nile House. I'm a PRO aspirant for the office of the Public Relations Officer of Federal Government College, Kaduna, also known as Association, elections 2022. By way of introduction, a PRO, otherwise known as the Director of Publicity, is a person that crafts public images, coordinates public events, contests, and organizes the publicity of a particular organization. My vision is embedded with passion, confidence, and hard work. And if elected as the PRO of this association, my manifesto and agenda will include, but not limited to, these items. Number one, to create a vibrant and innovative information mechanism using relevant social media handles, print and electronic media that will drive interest, inclusiveness.
Please, whoever has the Mac iPhone, for goodness sake, please let others speak. Just mute yourself. It's simple courtesy. At least this is the very least we expect from students of FGC. Sorry, Mr. Ajala. Please go ahead. Okay. My apologies.
All right. Yes. So my agenda includes the following: to create a vibrant and innovative information mechanism using relevant social media handles, print and electronic media that will drive interest, inclusiveness, and active participation of stakeholders of Federal Government College Kaduna, all student associations, and its activities. Number two is to use creative press releases, media presentations, and coverage to create mass awareness about our upcoming events of the association. And the third is to create a positive image of the association and its functions nationwide and beyond to reach the association's overall aim and objectives. Now, specifically, I want to see how we can have a pro-unitative jingle, both audio and video. I'm proposing that we would have an exhibition fair. And then number 6 is that I'm looking at something of a special documentary on FGC Kaduna 50th anniversary. And then number 7, I want to see how we can have a radio program a phone-in program, that these are things that will drive interest. So if we have that phone-in program that, creates awareness, when we want to have a major event, we can have something that will make people participate, share times of when they were in school and all of that. So these are the things that will, revive that interest and awareness. I'm hoping that with this, we'll move this association forward.
Okay. Are you done, Mr. Ajala?
I think for your time.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Excellent. So we're really keeping to time here. I think next we have Mr. Bakut Marshall. Are you in the house?
Yeah, I'm in the house. Can everyone hear me?
Go ahead. You have 5 minutes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. So I'm by name Marshall Bakut from the set of 2000. Sorry.
Video.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
We need to see who we are talking about.
Can everyone see me?
Yes.
Am I visible?
Yes.
Hello. All right.
Go
So yeah, I'm Marshall Bakut from the set of 2000 from the Great Volta House, and I'm vying for the office of the Financial Secretary. And then the key cardinal points of a financial secretary is to ensure prudent management of the association financial records, to strengthen the association's financial position, then to also ensure that there's an expanded approach to how we can be able to raise revenue for the association so that we don't depend solely on just dues. And then the other thing is to ensure that if there's a way we can work a synergy with the ESCOs and the members therein, so that we can see how we can, hello? Yeah, so let's see how we can be able to work out more modalities of how to raise income and then revenue, not just from dues that we are usually, things that we normally use to raise our financial status. And then there's something else where I think we also work with the ESCOs when we hit the ground running. And that's the thing of communication. I like what the PRO said earlier. I think there's a gap in how we are able to disseminate information. People don't really get to see what we've done or what we are planning to do or what we have in mind to do. I think that's something that we need to work on. So as Financial Secretary, I work with the ESCOs to see how we can be able to come up with a quarterly or at most once in a year report so that we repose the confidence of members. I think that's one thing that has been impeding members from paying dues. I would like to share something from my own side, which that is from the group of 2000 sets. Someone had a health challenge, and then in just 10 days, I think 10 days or so, if I'm not mistaken, we're able to raise $500,000. It was so easy. But people who raised that money are people who are not even paying dues. So I was surprised, and I had to ask the representative of that group. I said, what happened? How do we have people who are able to come up with monies for people who are going through one challenge or the other, but some people are not paying dues? So, when I did my assignment, I realized that maybe perhaps we are not being forthcoming. Maybe because there's a gap in information, maybe because people don't know what the association is doing, or maybe what the association have in mind to do. And I think we need to work on that seriously. Now, on the issue of paying of dues, dues cannot be the only medium or the only approach that we will use to raise revenue for our association. We need to find out other ways. We need to utilize other measures. There are entrepreneurs, there are people who are doing, I know we don't have the same fingers, we don't have the same capability in terms of financial status, but then there's a way we can be able to work out such that even people who are doing one thing or the other that we don't feel is enough can also contribute. We have people who are business people. Even if it's to say, oh yeah, good and fine, advertise your product on our page, advertise your goods on our this thing, but maybe just for a token, no matter how small it is. We're not saying it's compulsory, but I think if we find a way to let them understand that that token will go a long way to buy a book for someone in JSS1, someone in Dodam Barracks, I think they will be glad, they'll be ready to do that. And I think we need to work on that. Then secondly, keeping the, the purse more open, more transparent, more prudent. People should be able to know what we do, what we want to do, and then they should be able to assess and evaluate us all the time. I think that's something that we can work through to gain the confidence of more people so that we can be able to drive these financial records that we have or the financial status that we have upward. I don't really know the financial status of the house. I'm just coming in, but I believe that once we hit the ground rolling, we can be able to do much more together. That's just my offering.
Thank you, Mr. Bakut. That was
Yes.
a good intervention. There has been a question posed towards you, but what I will do is I'll get all the questions, and then at the end of the speeches, I will now call each and every one of you to answer questions. So please don't go far away.
Yeah, we are around. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Mr. Matthew Agbaire, you have 5 minutes. Mr. Matthew, please put on your camera and your microphone. Okay. And also your camera, please.
I'm actually on the road, so I have to take this while on the road. Good evening, my honorable chairman and distinguished members of the electoral committee. Good evening to my contemporaries, my friends, colleagues, schoolmates. My name is Matthew Agbaire, and I'm the present General Secretary of FGCKADOSA. And I'm vying to contest for the same position. I believe I come with a bit of experience, and I've held several positions over time in the association. Notably amongst them I was a pioneer BOT member. I was also the General Secretary of the Lagos chapter and the Vice President. And I've always tried to leave a mark where I have been. Coming into this position, I want to base my manifesto on 3 major points. The first is reorganizing chapters, sets, and the association in general. The major problem we have is structures. I want to make sure that we have structures in place to make it easy for seamless organization and definitely transition from one tenure to another. With Lagos chapters over the decades have been a shining light, and because we've always tried to ensure that there's proper organization. And it's something that other chapters will emulate, and we need to share information and share the mechanisms of use to achieve that. And that's what I bring to the national body. Secondly, I would also want to increase our membership. And one way we can do that is getting more chapters, more branches established. For a country of 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, we have just 5 chapters. I still see pockets of spaces that we can occupy and create branches in. States like Kano, Sokoto, Niger, Kwara. In the south, we only have in Rivers, and in the southwest we have in Lagos, and your chapter just came around. Those established not too long ago. And I feel that there are lots of spaces that we can populate, and with the advent of the effectiveness of social media right now, getting people together to plan, work, and actualize the creation and establishment of a chapter will be much easier. And thirdly, fostering accountability. We want a situation where the association is properly run. And I'll try as the General Secretary to always assist and render services to chapters, to sets, and help them grow, help them build up their associations, build up their groupings, to have to make that a reality. And with these three major action points, I believe that we would be a better association, would have a better grouping, and would grow from strength to strength. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matt.
Okay.
You're welcome, sir.
Bilal Adamu, are you available?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. You have 5 minutes starting now.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, members of BOT. Good evening, my seniors, my mates, and my juniors. My name is Bilal Adamu Halilu, member of 93 Set. I'm contesting for the post of the National Vice President. Regarding my manifesto, it is always wise for the National Vice President to align himself with his president. However, I have three main areas which I'm very passionate about, and I intend to use my office to push that these areas are being looked into by the president. Firstly, it has to do with the standard of education in our alumni, just like other alumni across the country. Having been in the classroom for almost 2 decades and giving my own contact, certified teacher, as well as contributed to the development of so many words, I strongly believe that we have lost that glory. The standard of education in our alumni is appalling, and it goes to show, I can even give you statistics, because most of us here do not feel comfortable sending our kids to the same institution where we graduated from, and that is sad. And how do I intend to bring this on board? Firstly, with synergy between the ESCO, the National ESCO, and the institution, that is FGCKADOSA, we intend to push for identifying the lapses, such as inadequate teaching staffs and inadequate teaching aids and materials, as well as the e-learning facilities and the ICT, tend to bring about situations whereby we can train and retrain our teachers and make them compete favorably with other contemporaries in other institutions, thereby improving the output, the overall output, so that the students will excel academically. That's the first one. Funding, yes, I know our financial secretary has so many things on his sleeve, and I believe the funding of these things won't be a problem. Secondly, I love sports. I'm an athlete. I still play football and chess. And I still, if there are two things I'm really passionate about or have the fondest memory about in school, was the Saturday night social gathering, the Saturday night events was really fun. And then the sports, the inter-house sports. A flashback to inter-house sports where you see houses running and you see the athletes moving, competing with one another. I believe we would have probably gotten an Usain Bolt from our academy if we have only harnessed the talents we had back then. If you've visited the school in the past, you'll find even the pitches have potholes and the rest. We have vast land, and most of us do not understand that the sports industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. An athlete can earn as much as 60,000 or 60 million pounds annually. And we have those talents lying there in our various institutions. So my own desire is to make sure we have a state-of-the-art sports facilities where we can compete favorably, harness those talents, and try and push them and showcase them to the outside world. And apart from just using the cognitive aspect of their lives of development, some of them will actually strive as being super sports stars that we'll be proud of. So we will be pushing for a state-of-the-art sports facility. This is a project that will take time, but it's something that subsequent ESCOs will hopefully continue, but we intend to leave our mark and hopefully do that before our tenure ends. Lastly, I'm a product of the mentorship program for my alumni. Most of the seniors here have mentored me directly and made me a better person, improved me business-wise and social-wise, and helped me politically. I feel I owe these alumni that same thing. I will push for a mentorship program where both the mentees and mentors will have something that will be of great benefit to the alumni, to the association, and hopefully see how best we can move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Before we go to the big masquerade, I just noticed Ruth has come back online. Apparently, she's had some connectivity problems. So I would ask if the president, the candidate for president, could hold on, and let's see if we can get Ruth to give us her 5 minutes of thoughts. Ruth, are you available?
Yes.
You have 5 minutes starting now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very sorry to have joined late. It's not deliberate. I just arrived at Abuja and the house I'm staying has connectivity problem. I am Ruth Amos from the class of 1991, Volta House, and the incumbent welfare officer Kaduna chapter. I'm vying for the post of the welfare secretary. Welfare is all about caring for the needy, the sick, the bereaved, and also sending congratulatory messages to people celebrating or to friends of the association. It's also all about giving counseling, to students or the junior classes within our state, just to help them and know what to expect in life. I want to go for welfare secretary in order to have periodic visits to the school where I can offer guidance and counseling to students, especially the graduating class of JS3 and SS3, so as to inform them, to get them informed and prepare them as to what to expect in their next phase of life. They need to know what is expected of them, the subjects to take for SS1, for example, for the JS1. When they are preparing, they have to choose subjects that is their passion, not just to go because their friends are there. They will now have problem, issues along the line. Then for the SS3, to prepare them for what to expect in the university, they need to know so that whatever, they will be able to face the challenges ahead. Then I also want to visit the school periodically to kind of analyze the projects that have been carried out by various sets and members of alumni to know the maintenance level. Also, look out for in case of deteriorating level, so we can see how we can as well. Then I will also like to give counseling or advice or orientate the students on the needs after the old students have presented the project. Give them on how to maintain them, because some of them just destroy. After a project within the shortest period, you find out that they have been destroyed by the students. So they need to know that these things takes people's efforts, people's sweat, And then they should maintain it not just for themselves, but for the younger students, so that they will all benefit from it. Thank you. I also want to kind of establish good relationship among members of, established members of the alumni. Then looking at our forthcoming anniversary, which is coming next year, I will want to, collaborate with the other sets to see how we can carry out projects that will be used to unveil the 50 years celebration.
You have less than a minute, Ruth.
If given the chance. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I noticed that.
I didn't charge of your son.
Toge, please, can you keep quiet, please? Toge.
Can you just mute him, please?
I've done that.
Thank you. I noticed, Joman, you are on. Are you available to speak to us? Christopher Joman? Are you able to speak to this?
I think he has. Is he here? Or I saw him coming in.
Yes. Okay. So, Nanye, are you here? Not sure. I saw her much earlier. Usman? Okay.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
You have 5
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Electoral Committee, and everyone. I am Usman Suleiman, a member of class of 2000 from the Radiant House, Congo House. I am the incubator. Great alumni. Position, National Social Secretary. Here are some of my
something. He bought once.
We seem to have lost Usman.
Is it the one on Techno Spark?
Right. No, I don't think so. It had its name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Go ahead, Usman.
I also strategize and liaise with the office of the president.
Can you raise your voice, please, Mr. Usman? Raise your voice louder.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello. Okay. To strategize and liaise with the office of the president to build more on mentorship and career program for our young graduate and interns. Also provide a device means to catch the student young and also enlighten them on the importance of being part of the alumni. I'll also build a proper and organized atmosphere to promote social activities such as entertainment, sports, entrepreneur, and many more. Also, liaise with USOSA and the Office of Welfare Director for Health Insurance Scheme for all the members. Also to bring a close interaction and foster relationship among the members of the alumni in order to aggrandize the level of those who require assistance in certain areas among us. Utilize our top government and political offices and more for the alumni members. These are all what I intend to do if I have opportunity to come back to the office. Thank you.
Chairman, Usman is done, please.
I was muted. So we have, is Nanye back or Christopher Joman or, okay, Usman, we just had you. I would love to give them an opportunity to be able to present their case or their perspectives. Mr. Joman? Madam Nanye? Okay, so I think we can move forward. Sunday, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. So, Mr. Shea, are you around?
Yes, sir.
You
Good
have
evening,
10
sir.
minutes. You have 10 minutes starting now.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and everybody. I thank you all for taking our time to be part of this discussion. It's about the future of our alumni. And I am so happy with the engagement thus far. I want to say that the job of the president is that of setting agenda. Anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. That was John Maxwell. So basically, we are going to be taking an aggregate of what the people want, our aspirations for the alumni. Then I dare say that the alumni is like a board, is like a door. One part facing the former students and another part facing the school. So our job is through bonds. Our responsibility is through bonds, as we are responsible for the school and the ecosystem thereof. We are also going to be responsible for our members. I think in the pecking order, I would rather say what we need now is to actually look at the welfare of our people. Nigeria is going through a lot of tough times, but we have seen institutions who have been have a united front. We have seen schools who have united fronts, making great feat. So basically, I said something about us raising a fund. I believe it's high time that we have a sort of revolving fund to help those who have not been themselves in any business. I've studied the Chinese model in US. I see that that one is workable here, where the resources of the fund are utilized and we still make some returns out of it. I also believe that we need to have a lot of engagement at levels. One is our website. I want to see a very interactive website where at the push of a button, somebody that is anywhere that wants to build a house, you can see all the architects that we have. At the push of a button, you can see all the doctors that we have. You can engage these people and decide who you want to do business with. What this does for us is it increases business. It also increases knowledge. What we are saying that we're going to have a cluster of professionals. And I was reading some time ago that before a dollar leaves the community of the Jews, it goes 4 times. That means an average Jew will go to a Jewish barber's place, go to a Jewish restaurant, he will use a Jewish mechanic. So what we are saying is that we should have a critical mass of our people engaging ourselves, so that as more money that we have, as more business that we build ourselves to the point that we have a lot of people giving back to the school. I've seen a lot of interventions for the school as well, and I feel that we have to streamline these things. I've seen duplication of things, and that shows that our resources are not well being utilized. In this wise, we'll be having a lot of interface with the set presidents. We will advise them that we want to play a role between them and the school, so that we can tell them that, okay, when we're talking of preference, these are what is needed now, if you guys can do this, and these are the money that we have. I also believe that Federal Government College Kaduna has been lacking behind in so many things. Infrastructure is not there. And I believe that we have people who are willing, but we need to have a structure that works. We need to have a structure that they can believe in, because money is not easy to come by. But if they see, when they see a system that works, when they see a system that is responsive, and they see a system that is responsible, I'm sure that people will willingly come to our assistance. I also believe that the way it should work is not what the association can give first, but a lot is dependent on what we ourselves as individuals can give to the association. I'm not too happy that our younger ones are not really engaging us. Paying of dues should be taken is your first call of responsibility to an association. And when you want, and that's why I said that our website will be very interactive. At the push of a button, when your name clubs up, we will know if you have been engaging. It's not, I want a system in which is what you give, that what you sow, that is what you reap. When we push a button, we see the meetings you attend, we see that you are with us, body, soul, and spirit. I also feel that irrespective of what we say we want to do, if the people don't buy into it, there's how much we can do. And I've started building bridges. There's no cause we don't have time for division, we don't have time for rancor. And I will call on every member that we should try and close rank. The challenges outside there, I use to say that our people in who I call the diaspora village, I don't want to have, it's going to be engaging. I pray that if I become the president, I'll have time to even visit the diasporans to talk to them. It shouldn't be a case of only when we need them, their money or interventions, that's when we get to know what is happening. I really want to feel their pulse. With the exposure out there, and many of them have gone to other great schools, they should be able to bring this to bear. Tell us what is happening contemporary, wherever it is. I will be open to what's it called? We'll be open to different advice from everywhere. We put them together, we debate them. I am going to give a leadership that will be very dynamic. There's some of the things that have worked for us in Lagos. We bring them to the center and work on it. And I want to say that I have a passion for the younger ones that have just that have leaving school. Then I believe we can have an academy, a leadership academy, that from SS3, first year in university, and those graduating, we can have a leadership academy. We have the resources among us. We can call on all our former MDs. We have about 19 to 20 former generals, and that's a lot of human resource. So we have leadership academy, we have business academy. We have to train and make sure that these people can hold their own in the contemporary world. I'm very passionate about the school. Everything, I sleep, drink Federal Government College Kaduna because I've seen the potentials that we have. The only missing link is that we've not been able to organize ourselves. I've interfaced with folks from other federal government colleges, and I can tell you, they don't have half of what we have. They don't have the kind of they don't have the kind of abilities, capabilities we have. So why are we not there? Why is it that when anything is happening, we're talking of the four schools that come to your mind is KC. I've met with these guys, and I see that the only thing they have is that they are well organized. So as a former labor leader, I think I'm trained to organize our people, and all the experiences I've had in home and abroad are what I bring to bear. I've seen sets do a lot of wonderful things. Sam? 1 minute. I've seen sets do a lot of wonderful things, and I think it's now time for us to put everything together to do greater things. I'm so happy about the team that are coming on board. Giving assurances that we're going to set a pace. We're going to set agendas that others can build on. I'm coming into this race basically to to build infrastructures that would outlive us. And more about structures. We have seen structures that worked. I've read about structures that work, and I believe they will work with us. If we come together, there's nothing that can limit us. We are talking of taking over the political space, the economic space, governance. I mean, everywhere. My push will be that everywhere we go, we must see a federal government college, Kaduna, former students holding the commanding heights of that place. It is very doable. I've seen it happen in other schools, and I don't see why we cannot repeat it here. I mean, with the caliber of people that we have as my seniors, as my juniors, and everybody, what we just need is that commitment. And I'm also calling on our younger ones to be more committed. It's those that we see. Those are the people that we can mentor. It's those that we see. Those are the people that we can push when there are opportunities. Thank you so much. Your team have been so wonderful. I mean, you have set a level that even the national politics have not done. There's transparency, there's accountability, there's engagement, and this is the Federal Government College Kaduna character. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, and excellent interventions by everyone. We now have a series of questions, and I will do my best to try and, first of all, I think Isiaku, basically, Isiaka. Okay, my apologies. I didn't type the name fully.
Isiaka Omorsuli.
Asks Marshall. So I hope Marshall is still with us. What are his plans as to rendering financial statements of his tenure? The past two EXCOs have not done that, and that led to apathy by many members. Well, I don't think the current EXCO is finished, so maybe they will still render account before their tenure. But the question really is, what are your plans to render financial statements during your tenure?
All right, good evening. Is everyone hearing me?
Yes, right, please go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, thank you. Actually, I agree with him because over time, I raised the same observation, even from our own set group. I think there's been a gap, a communication gap, which has put a lot of doubts or maybe concerns to those who are paying dues. Now, one thing about financial representation is that you must keep communication. There must be a seamless belief in the people who are paying dues that, one, their dues are being prudently utilized. Secondly, that the records are kept transparently so that they can believe to pay the next dues. Now, let me say something. The average dues paid by most of the class we have in FGCKADOSA is 2,000. Then the registration fee is 1,000. Now, if you divide 1,000 by 12, you have 83 point something. That's so insignificant. As in, I'm not trying to deride anybody, but I mean, what if I just pay 83?
To answer and use your minutes.
Okay, sorry. 83. So then the dues itself, okay, it's 166.67. So that's something that anybody can pay in a month effortlessly without having to push any hassle or so. So these are things that we must do. We must first create the communication. We
Marshall,
must make people, sorry?
You have a second question.
Okay.
Oh, long ago. You have a second question.
Okay, go ahead.
From Abubakar Aliu. He says
yes.
Rendition of financial report is a constitutional responsibility of the financial secretary.
Yes.
I would like to know how the FinSec candidate will ensure that individual members are reminded of their responsibility to pay their dues. What ingenious ways will the FinSec devise to ensure those who pay dues are promptly acknowledged and their receipts delivered to them? You have just a minute, please. Let's keep it very snappy and short.
Yes, we are going to work alongside the CRC, that is the class representatives of each set, to ensure that that happens. Even though that has been going on, but I don't know, I think there is a problem of technology, which we must find a way around. And I'm working alongside the team of ESCOs to ensure that we can use technology to do that. You know, it's not easy. Let me use my set. My set, we have more than 200 and something members already, even though a good number of them are not so active, which I understand everyone has 1 or 2 responsibilities and we're trying to put up and then still come alongside. But then technology will do that job. We need to have everybody in the database, which I'm going to work with the team of experts to do that. Once we have everyone in the database, we ensure that those whose records are not straight or whose records are not kept will use the database that is using technology to remind them. We don't have to call everybody up and down, except when necessary, which it won't be a problem.
Marshall.
We'll find a way. Yeah, we'll find a way to use the CRCs to do that. Thank you.
Ego has a question for Mr. Ajala, and I'm not trying to be rude and cut you guys off, but you do need to get to the point. There are a number of questions and we want to accommodate everybody. Also, I am pasting the questions in the chat in case you need to look at them. So Ego is asking Ajala, have you costed the ideas you mentioned? If you have, how would these ideas be funded? Ajala, as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you. First of all, to do a standard jingle, it's just maybe about 20, 25,000. That's not much. It's not much. So that takes care of that of the jingle. Now, look at the documentary. Yes, the documentary that I proposed, it's going to be a massive one. We are talking about 50 years. So it's what everybody should latch on. If everybody participates and, you know, look, this is what we want to do, a special documentary, we can raise funds from members, selling these ideas to them. It's not something that one person can do. So we can kindly appeal to some captains of industries to see the need for doing these things that we are talking about. So those are just my ways of, you know, but if people can contribute, use, why not? We can always use this because it's a noble one. For instance, if you want to make an announcement and you use the Pro Unitate song as your intro, that will send, you know, good memories. Oh, this is my school and all of that. So that's just what I'm looking at. We must look for ways to see how people can be part of it. And that's what we're talking about, the inclusiveness. So if everybody is part of it, I think it will go a long way to help us.
Thank you very much. Okay, next question is Architect Bayo. He says to the treasurer, I believe we don't have the candidate for treasurer did not meet constitutional requirements. So that will have to be taken care of either at the AGM or by the next NEC. But I think Marshall is the person that he is directing this question to. You mentioned the mechanism for raising funds other than dues. Please enumerate other avenues to raise funds.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right, so okay, thank you. So like I said earlier, if we depend solely on dues, we will not really achieve what we want to achieve. So we need to really have an expanded approach towards raising dues. In fact, the other time I said we have entrepreneurs, we have business people that we can find a way to cost their promotions, even through the groups, maybe on Facebook pages, Instagram, and the rest of that. Even if it's just a token or so, I think we can find a way to raise monetary. But to be honest, one of the things is that I realized, like I said, there's a gap. If we're able to close that gap, I believe raising of this is not even a problem. Many people don't see the reason why they should pay this because they don't really see what the association is doing. And I think we need to work on maybe like a quarterly assessment and evaluation of the records we have in terms of financial disposition, financial deliberation and the rest of that. So we need to really work on that and see how we can be able to repose trust. But then aside that, we'll find a way to see how within our sets, our class groups, how can we be able to cause people to come up with entrepreneurship roles and the rest of that, so that in as much as, no matter how small it is, no matter how the token is, we can be able to raise monies aside, dues and the rest of that. And then we're working also with the team of experts.
We have the next question, Mr. Marshall. You do need to be more concise. Thank you. Next question is from Isiaka to I think Mr. Agbari.
Matthew, yes.
Yes, you are part of the incumbent EXCO, which was substantially invisible. Furthermore, you are part of the decision to host the AGM in Abuja. without enough consultation. Then again, we are going into another election using an unsigned constitution. How do you intend to mitigate all the aforementioned to engender inclusiveness and a sense of belonging among members? Mr. Matthew?
Yes, okay. I'm going to take the questions one at a time. The first question raised the issue about the expo being substantially invisible. That is relative. I use the word relative because when we came into office, barely a month into office, then there was a national lockdown. The COVID-19 pandemic came upon the world, and there were travel restrictions. We were not expected to be traveling around and having meetings when there were restrictions worldwide. But in the interim, we came up with a very innovative way of disseminating information, and that was a newsletter. We introduced the first FGCKADOSA newsletter, and that filled in the gap for a lot of things, brought the association closer to a lot of people, because we shared a lot of information that hitherto had not been shared and had a wider reach than the platforms that we had initially. And we kept in touch. We had, right after the closure of the lifting of the lockdowns, we drilled a borehole for the school, and there was quite a bit of visibility in Kaduna and Abuja. And so I don't tend to agree that we were rather an invincible expo. In that period of lockdown, we were able to draw projects to the school, and that the donation of 6 table tennis boards to students and staff was done largely by our efforts. And then the project taken up by the 80 sets to upgrade the plumbing facilities in the hostel was also aided by our initiatives, and they tapped from the borehole that the expo drilled, which was more or less the first project undertaken by any set chapter or grouping in 2020. So I think in the real sense, we were quite visible. Then the second part of the question was the decision to host the AGM in Abuja instead of Kaduna. Well, we had options, and the options were Kaduna and Lagos. Those were the initial options because Lagos chapter offered to host. But I would point out something. In August, on the 24th of August, because the decision to have the AGM in Abuja was taken in the last week of October. Now, prelude to this decision, on the 24th of August, NDA was attacked by gunmen. On the 5th of September, the telecom blockage was put in place in Zamfara. This was extended to Kaduna on the 29th of September. Then on the 21st of October, the train ride from Abuja was attacked. With all this going on, the pointers were that possibly things would go worse. And we had to take a decision, taking into consideration the worst possible scenario and where would be the safest place we could have an AGM. And we took that decision to move to Abuja, which was not even in contention when we started deliberations. So we made quite a bit of consultation. We spoke to recognized bodies and individuals, and we could not have spoken to everybody because predominantly or majorly the decision to host an AGM lies with the Exco, and we believe that at that time that was the best decision, and we still believe that it was the best decision.
Can you wrap up, Matthew? Next, we want to move to the next question.
And for the last about the unsigned constitution, well, it was ratified by previous regimes, and going forward, I believe that we'll try and try and improve on that. But it has been ratified.
Thank you very much. There was a question from Ego to Bilal, so I hope Bilal is watching the chat. It says, Bilal, how will you improve facilities at FGCK, which is the job of government, be funded? Have you costed it? Bilal, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, once again. Regarding funding of facilities, let me give a similitude. Just recently, FGC just did a project, 40 bed space hostel and an ICT facility. This wasn't done by government, it was done by individuals, spearheaded by the leadership of the Old Students Association. There's always room to complement the efforts of the government. And you and I know that if we're going to wait on the government, it's going to take like forever. Secondly, estimation will be done as soon as we get into office. We're going to get quantity surveyors and they will evaluate, and then we'll get going with the...
Is it your background that is making noise, please, Bilal?
I'm sorry, my background. Yes, my background. Sorry.
Please, can you take it low?
So as I was saying, so we will get an estimate as soon as we get surveyors and we're elected into office and the project is approved by the SK. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Bilal, don't go away. You have the next question from Abubakar. It basically says, as the current Abuja chapter president, how have you been able to organize members resident in Abuja to take greater interest in the affairs of the association? How will you rate your tenure? So there are double-barreled question there. So
yeah, Abuja Exco comprises of about 5 members. We came about from a gathering in City Park one evening, and we were saddled with the responsibility of bringing in members on board and the rest. So far on the WhatsApp group, we have over 120 members from across. It's been quite difficult, and sometimes when you have a plan to accommodate 100, you now see a turn-up of less than 20. Quite challenging to do that, but in all fairness, we've done our best. But I will say, when it comes to rating, I really believe I'm from the school of thought.
Hello, Bilal, your background is noisy, please, Bilal.
Sorry about that. I believe you don't crown yourself with a cap. So it's best for others to evaluate your performance and then score you or rate you, whichever way they feel. Thank you.
thank you very much. Next question is for Abubakar Usman. Are you available? Abubakar, I've posted the question in the chat. I mean, Usman, sorry, the question is for you. Social Secretary Usman?
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, the question is, as a member of the outgoing EXCO who held the same position, what programs did you initiate that makes you feel we should vote for you to continue?
Well, I designed a program for the outgoing SS3 students, mentorship and career lead. This program is mainly to...
Please raise your voice, Mr. Usman. Raise your voice.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I designed a program for the outgoing SS3 students. The program mentorship and career day, where we guide the SS3 students on their future career. We will invite, we have many of our alumni in various careers. We'll invite them to give them lecture, to guide them how to access these careers, how to have, so that they can have even a preview of their career and how to access their career. I designed such a program. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Shei, I hope you are still with us. I've just posted your question to the chat, and it's from Ms. Ogunsina. Shei, are you with us? Maybe you need help to be unmuted.
Okay, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so Shei, the question from Ogunsina is, how do you intend to lift back the lost glory of the FGCK we know? The school really needs a facelift. Again, I posted it in the chat. Your minute starts now.
I think thank you very much, sir. I believe that's my senior addition. I think the school needs more than a facelift. And when we're talking about a school, we're not only talking about the structures, we are talking about the students that are graduating from that school. So I mean, there is some parts that have to do with government. You will see that the mixture that we had when we were there. I mean, when I was there, you didn't know if you have a predominance of people from one tribe or the other. But because of security now, many people from the west or south will not allow their children to pass the Niger. So that is a part of that governments have to do. But what we have to do is to make sure that by the time Nigeria gets all these things back that we'll be proud of. So all the things that have been done for the school are coming now. So we're going to engage the set leaders so that we look at we have a scale of preference in all together. We take that decision together. What is more important for the school? What we are going to train. We have to, because at the end of like chartering of lecturers. That means there's even some we don't have maths teachers, we don't have English teacher. They're on part-time basis. I still don't understand how that works. They have PTA teachers. So we have to have a training for teachers, and this would this would bring more teachers willing to work. We have to train the teachers. We have to train the non-teaching staffs. And I said that the structures. I believe Bilia spoke about that costing of some of these structures. The last time I went to the school, there was a hole in one of the hostels that I believe someone could just have been thrown from the last floor. So we have those interventions that we do. But I also know that we're having challenges with the school authorities. And that is one of the things that we have to be able to face squarely, because we cannot move. So
you do need, you spent 2.5 minutes now, and you need we're trying to give you a minute. The second question is from Femi, and it's again directed to you. What are you going to do, or what is he, that is you, going to do to harmonize and bring together those of us in the diaspora? Please, if you could keep it to a minute. Or
we have a diaspora structure, and I've been in touch with them. And that's why I said that it's not only talking to them. I'm also going to make our time to go and talk to our people in the diaspora. I said that one before. Probably you are not around then. We've been talking about this, and that's why I said that we are going to have clusters, so that even ease of business, for diasporans, you'll be able to get, a critical mass of our people that you can do business with, that you can trust. That takes a lot of burden away from us. The diasporans will be very engaged with us. There's no lines. There's nothing that we will be doing that will not be open to them, because we all owe this school, and we'll be able to latch on the expertise and the exposure of those in diaspora. So I don't even see a dichotomy, apart from the fact that we are in different locations. So we are one. I don't see any dichotomy within those here and those in diaspora.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I had actually hoped to stop on this note, but I just realized that there was a question for Ruth that for some reason I had skipped, so my apologies. But Ruth, if you are still with us, can we ask you the question? Are you still available? Hello, Ruth. Unfortunately, I've posted the question in the chat. Ruth, if you are there. Hello, Ruth.
I think she's not here.
Okay. So I think on that note, we have had some very useful interactions. We've done the Q&A. So Kabiru,
yes, sir.
I hand over to you for closing, please.
Okay, thank you very much,
within time.
everybody, for coming together and to have this engaging session with all the candidates and all of us. It has been a one-on-one, at least for us to even hear from them, their aspirations, and to even look at their faces. As it is, you've made some promises. God willing, if you come in, we are going to look at it, and we are going to hold you onto it. Just like the president, vice president, general secretary have said, there has to be ownership in this thing. So we will hold you responsible for this. Thank you very much as we meet on Saturday for the AGM and election. And on behalf of the electoral committee, we thank you very much for coming together. Thank you and good night. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody. And just to respond, there are virtual refreshments. Please enjoy the virtual refreshments, especially Elman, I think, in particular. I think there was also one other observation by Dauda. There is a need to sustain and pursue vigorously some of the program and activities initiated by the outgoing EXCO, such as inclusiveness of all members, communication, especially on websites, getting us. Okay,
right.
We're done. Thank you, everybody.
So thank you very much, and good night. We meet on Saturday in Abuja.
I'm sorry. Anything else? I don't care if you marry every day. I don't care. This is we talk maintenance on romanticism, what has managed business